Hey guys, FirstinWeather here, back at it again with another video. It is March 7th, 2018, and today, instead of talking about this big nor'easter that's been impacting the Northeast, I will be discussing the potential for some snow this weekend, especially in portions of Central Virginia. Well, before that, let me get into a quick intro with this nor'easter. It's bringing really heavy snows into portions of the interior Northeast, some of these areas could get close to 12 to 18 inches of snow out of the system. But this will quickly depart, and unlike this system, the next one that will be impacting us will have a much more southerly track, and will be a track much more favorable for snowstorms. So if we take it through, so the GFS model, the 12Z run just coming out. We take it through, so we have below average temperatures in place, and then Saturday a quick disturbance will come through, maybe a few spotty showers, a couple flurries mixed in, pretty low precip chance early Saturday morning. That goes through. This is the main system. Look at this. It's a big low pressure system, and that goes, and then look at this. It's all rain for Central Virginia. It snows for the interior portions of the state, and then as we get to close to Monday morning, we start to see that transition to snowfall, and that snowfall will end late Monday morning. But again, this is solely the GFS model, and then it takes it up the Northeast and brings some pretty sizable snows here. So again, it's looking like we have the potential to see snow, but it's looking like that potential for a major snowstorm is dwindling. It's not going to be that high. And there are unfortunately multiple factors working against it for us. And if we look at this track is ideal for East Coast snowstorms, or for a Mid-Atlantic snowstorm. Those tracks that go like this, or like this, are 100% ideal for these areas. And they can, or this area, like this, and they can bring lots of snow to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. However, let's keep in mind, it is March, and in March the average temperature has raised a full 10 degrees, has risen a full 10 degrees. Then in January, when the average high temperature is 45, now we're talking about average high temperature of 55 in Central Virginia, and that makes a huge difference. That really makes a huge difference. Plus, when you take in the fact that there's a higher sun angle, the temperatures heat up faster, basically multiple factors going against us seeing a good snowstorm. And now let's dissect this. So let's go into the regional view real quick. Clear out of this. So this is 18Z Sunday, so we're going to see some rains coming in 18Z Sunday according to the GFS model. Let me stress that. It's according to the GFS, and some of the other models are completely different from this, but this is the GFS. And one thing I want to say is that the GFS this year has been much more accurate than the European model in this winter, which has really been quite surprising. So that is something we'll be keeping in mind when it comes to choosing between other models. So this is the GFS, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock Sunday, some rain's coming in. Then again, this is 8 p.m. Sunday, we got some heavy rain, and mostly moderate to heavy rain in Central Virginia, with really heavy rain in southeast North Carolina with interior snows, basically really heavy wet snow. Then we get to 1 a.m. Monday, that rain snow line starts going south, because as this thing intensifies, it's going to wrap around that cold air. So as this thing gets really strong, it's going to wrap around that cold air from the northeast, and that wind coming in from the northeast is going to push that cold air down, and that's what's going to change the rain to snow. And so then as we go to 12Z, it changes to snow in Central Virginia, but by then we're on the backside of the storm, and we're not really seeing any intense precipitation, but nonetheless, we could still be seeing some wet snowflakes. And that should end around late morning. And yeah, that's it. If we look at the total snowfall, now, if you're looking at Twitter and you're going through all these Facebook posts saying that, oh, look at that, show these snow maps of 10 inches in Richmond, Virginia, just ignore those, because this is completely false. And here's a couple reasons why. if we look at the surface temperatures, this is 12Z Monday. At 7 a.m. it's 34 degrees. And that's a full 2 degrees above freezing, and it might not seem like much, but in the meteorology world, that's a lot. That's a world of a difference. If you got the difference between 30 degrees and 34 degrees, can be the difference between a foot of snow and only 4 inches of snow. And unfortunately, it's looking like, based on the timing of this being in late March, then also the amount of cold air in place, it looks like we will just not have enough cold air to produce a significant snowfall, to produce a significant accumulating snowfall, because again, we're gonna be just above freezing, and that's gonna limit the accumulations by a lot. And so if we look at the MSLP and precip, this is 34 degrees, and we're seeing some heavy wet snow. But again, that snow is gonna hit the ground and just melt on contact, and this is assuming that this even does happen. And just forget about this even accumulating on the road. So people who want school to be off on Monday, I think the chances of that happening are extremely low, really slim. And the roads might become a little bit icy in some spots, but really nothing to worry about at all. I think school should definitely be on for Monday, even if this does happen. And now let's look at the sounding, because this is also something that's really important. So let's go right over Richmond, Virginia. Right there, 12Z Monday. So 7 a.m. Monday when we're seeing some snow. Look at this. So we have temperatures at 34 degrees above the ground, but then if we go up in the atmosphere, we don't go above freezing once. And if you look at this, see how these temperatures increase right here for a little bit? That's a good sign that you're seeing extremely heavy convective snowfall, where you're just seeing heavy snow, heavy snow. And if it was just a few degrees cooler, I would be going completely crazy right now, going into hype mode right now, saying that, oh my god, we really have the potential to see a humongous snowstorm. But again, think about this, we're in March. Historically, it's really hard to see a good snowstorm in central Virginia in March. Temperatures are just too warm, it's too hard for the snow to stick. And again, look at this, this is the evil number, 34 degrees. That's just too much, too warm for any snow to stick. So again, it looks like sleet or ice won't be an issue, because look at this, the temperature profile in the entire atmosphere is below freezing until it reaches the very bottom of the atmosphere. And so sleet, freezing rain, that's not going to be a problem. It's going to be either rain or either snow. So snow or rain, and it depends on how cold you get. I think if you get 35, 34, you're going to start to see that transition to snow, and I think central Virginia will be just cold enough to see that transition from rain to snow. But again, that might change. We're still pretty far out. It's only Wednesday. This system is on Sunday, so we're gonna have to keep on monitoring this, and I'll keep you posted. But now let's switch gears to the European model. All right. So if we go, give me one sec. All right. So, oh, that's not what I want. Okay, it's not cooperating with me, but okay. So this is the European model. So this is 12Z Sunday. The low pressure system's right here, and it's basically showing it going like this. All right, try to get a better view. And so it's basically gonna go like this. And that's not good if you want snow right here. That's not good at all, because again, we're in March, so we really need this system to intensify right here, slow down, intensify, and crank up all that cold air right here from the northeast and just bring it down and change that rain to snow. But if it goes like this, that means it's not slowing down, it's not intensifying, and so it's not going to bring any cold air into here, which means we're gonna stay rain for the entire time. So again, that's crucial. We need this to stay here, intensify, and shoot up the coast, which will bring all that wraparound cold air into our area, which will help change the rain to snow. So again, so now you have the GFS model, which has been more accurate this winter, saying we could see rain Sunday afternoon changing to snow early Monday morning or late Sunday night, and it's saying that the snow will accumulate on the grassy surfaces and maybe up to maybe on the roads in interior portions of Virginia, like over here, like it's too much, like in Washington D.C., Fredericksburg, and these areas where you're going to see significant accumulations on the roads and stuff. And I think in this area you're going to see just some accumulation on the grassy surfaces and slushy at best too. So, and then you have the European model that's saying it's not going to intensify, it's going to go off the coast. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is, a couple runs ago, the European model had this thing going like this, just completely out to sea, complete miss. Then it slowly brought it up, and now it's bringing it like this. So will this northward trend continue? Will it start to make it intensify right here and shoot up the coast? And that's going to be interesting to see. And I think we're going to have a better idea of this as we get closer to Sunday. So I would say by tomorrow evening, early Friday morning, we're going to have a much better handle of the system. But right now, here's what I'm thinking. So let me go to the GFS view real quick. Alright, so what I'm thinking right now is we're going to see the rain come in around early Sunday afternoon. It's going to change. It's going to be all snow, pretty much mostly all snow right here. It's going to change to all snow in these areas probably late Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, and then it's going to change to snow in these areas late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and then in this area right here, it's just gonna stay all rain. Alright, so sucks for you guys. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. And then I think temperatures will be in this area right here. Temperatures will be above freezing the entire duration of the storm, which will prevent accumulations on the roads. Keyword: prevent accumulations on the roads. So school will most likely be on. So for people hoping for school to be off, it looks like this is not going to be your storm. However, things could change. We could get more wraparound cold air, but right now that's looking very unlikely. I think the best chance for significant accumulation that could disrupt travel would be in these areas right here. In these areas, north and western portions of the state. And so, yeah, I think this could be a good snowstorm for interior portions of the state, but for Central Virginia, I'm just not seeing it. I think right now it's going to be mostly a cheap thrill. We're going to see some rain changing over to snow. It could be heavy wet snow, in fact, in Richmond, Virginia, but that snow will not stick on the roads. It will stick on the grassy surfaces if it gets 34 or below, but that's about it. And at most, maybe 3, maybe 4 inches. Again, this is going to be very wet snow, and wet snow does not stick well. And that is if we even see snow, because if the European model turns out to be correct, we're not even going to see any snow at all. And so right now, I'm going to have to say that I'm leaning on the GFS model. So I'm thinking we're going to get some rain changing over to snow for a brief period of time, but keyword: does not accumulate. Keywords, I should say. It will not accumulate on the roads. So that's it for now. I'll make sure to update you guys as we get closer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you next time.